Welcome to First Keep Congregation. Now, I'm going to say this right up front. If you are one of those people who are easily offended, don't like strong language, or are a little too attached to your religion, this might not be the one to watch, quite frequently, because we're going to be talking about a lot of jokes, and we're going to be making fun of a lot of stuff. And we're going to tell probably some wildly inappropriate jokes, because we kind of tend to do that anyways. Marshall tends to do that. But for those who are still watching after that introduction, you have nobody else to blame but yourself at this point. Yes, no, I'm actually talking to a camera up there. There's actually, but if you don't know, this First Keep Congregation is held at the Center of Wichita. If you don't know what that is, go to thecenterofwichita.org. It's a local LGBT community center. They do a lot of good things, and a lot of groups that meet here. For instance, Get Connected, which is the teen center. Hi! You can sit there. And I'm going to be a little bit uncomfortable during part of this, because I said, oh my God, I'm going to have to watch my language. And they said, no, don't worry about it. He doesn't want not to repeat. But I've trained myself not to curse in front of children. So this will be entertaining at multiple levels. Part of the reason why this is going on. So what?
Glad we could help.
Yes, yes.
Do you feel better if he curses first?
Go for it. Ow. Part of this is over for those who don't keep up with the news, and how could you possibly not keep up with the news and not hear this if you're on Facebook or anywhere really? Charley Hebdo was a satire magazine, kind of like Mad Magazine, but with worse taste in French, because it's French, it's going to have worse taste. I told you there's going to be some inappropriate stuff here. And they were attacked by Muslims, by Muslim extremists, and 17 people were killed before it was over with. Now, what we don't also know is that there was also, most people don't follow, is that there was also fallout from this otherwise, as much of the Muslim community stood up. And so what?
His name's David.
I'm Davis.
Okay.
I know I was supposed to spell it. Jesuit. Also, get rid of that marker. I am Charley. It's one of the things that has become a kind of a rallying cry for a lot of people, including some like in Nigeria, which ended up with riots and mosques being burned as the more moderate community stood up to say, this is unfair. We don't get to kill people over a sense of humor. But that's what they did. So today we're going to make fun of everybody to celebrate the fact that we can do this.
Hooray.
But, because I like to be thoughtful about things, we're also going to discuss some of the jokes too from time to time. And I'm going to say there's about 3 levels of humor involved here. And let's throw a couple examples out here. So a priest, this fellow falls into the ocean. And he's sitting there, he's swimming. Boat comes by, and the boat says, hey man, you all right? Can we help you? He says, no, God will save me. And the boat goes by. Do you need anything? No, I'm good. God will save me. Third boat goes by. You look like you're about to lose it, man. Are you okay? He goes, no, I'm fine. God will save me. And of course, the priest drowns. He gets to heaven. He asks God, I thought you would save me in all these situations. I brought you 3 boats. What did you expect? Why didn't you take one? That is an appropriate level of humor for events like this. What do a Christmas tree and priests have in common? At the right moment. That's what, the balls are just ornamental. That's an inappropriate level of humor. That's an inappropriate level of humor. And then there's wildly inappropriate. I don't actually have any wildly inappropriate, like right here in this little spot here. So, question: does anybody else out there have an inappropriate joke they'd like to go for? Because at any time during this whole thing, and since you guys have never been here before, you're welcome to blurt out at any time an opinion, a thought, what have you. I don't make you raise your hand. I don't know. This isn't high school. You're pretty much just welcome to blurt it out, including at this point jokes. Marshall does that all the time, anyways. But everybody's open the floor on this.
I won't feel so bad today.
So if at any time you're moving, and you're even welcome to come up here and tell a joke if you want. However, if you come up here, I may laugh at your delivery, right? Just so you know.
What's the secret?
Not to say that I'm a.
What's the secret of comedy?
I don't know. Timing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is gonna be hilarious.
It gets confident.
No.
Until I say something.
Oh God.
Wow, this is Now, obviously, though, with the priest one, we're not actually making fun of anybody in the room. You guys are Catholic, right?
No.
I'm sorry.
On the other hand, there might be at least one person here who grew up Catholic.
It would be anymore.
I grew up Catholic. They're funny.
So what?
I grew up Catholic. They're funny.
We'd have at least 4 or 5 more of those that age.
Good point. What was your family size again?
I mean, 12 to 13.
30. Oh, wow. How do you get a nun pregnant? Dress her up as an altar boy. Anyways, part of the thing about humor is it's always at the expense of somebody, really. And this becomes a problem. Now, here's the grand debate with this whole thing. At what point is
With a line?
at what point is humor harmful? Is there one?
I don't think so.
I really don't think so. However, here's the thing about it. If I tell racist jokes up here, right now I'm telling religion jokes. If I tell racist jokes up here, I'm looked down upon by everybody. Well, mostly, as long as they're not Jew jokes. I mean, if they're Jew jokes, they're fine.
I don't know though. I think unless you have like one specific target, that becomes like people are rare. But if you're getting everybody, including your own, most people are just going.
Well, and that is one of the beauties of it. We can always laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
We can make as many Christian jokes. Hello. We can make as many Christian jokes as we want because we're vaguely Christian, or we can make atheist jokes, but that's all right. We can't make fun of other people. That seems to be the general trend. And I'm going to tell some radically tasteless ones.
Oh, child, sit your butt here.
Anyway, hang on. I'm waiting for our page to load because I wanted to repeat a couple of jokes from this because it actually had they are horrible go to hell jokes. They are fantastic. Apparently the page is not going to load. Here we go. And it was interesting because this is another one of those protest moments because everybody's protesting about how Muslims will kill people over these jokes. Guy out of New York who's a hot dog vendor of all things is now under investigation by the police because of the jokes he told on Twitter. and I'm going to repeat these. I'm going to ignore the first one because it's really not that fun. In 2001, I thought Americans could fly because of the way they were jumping out of the towers. Wow.
Technically, they.
Hitler asked his people, "How do you like your Jews?" Well, done with a bagel and a kosher pickle, personally. And the final question, though, the question he put up, and this was very important. This is why he was doing it. He wasn't just doing it to make fun of people. If I made a cartoon about Hitler and some Jews going into an oven, would it be accepted like the cartoon of Mohammad as free speech? Well, oddly enough, there's a lot of people that won't accept that as free speech. That's insulting. That's so many things. That is wrong. You can't say that. People die. All of these things. But because we're not a predominantly Muslim country, it's okay to make fun of those guys over there.
Chewing up.
Shoot. Anyways, but the funny part of all this, by the way, is that typically I'm an equal opportunity person. I'm equal opportunity offender. I like to make fun of everybody. I want to make fun of people. And when we're here, yeah, we talk about Christianity, but we also talk about the religious views of nearly everybody, and including atheism. Not that it's a religious view. I wanted to present, like, for instance, some Hindu jokes and things like this. It's not really actually very easy because we don't know enough about Hindus.
I've got one.
Give it.
This is from a Hindu's point of view. It's one of those your mama jokes. Is I would say something about your mom, but cows are sacred to our people.
I saw that on the list. I wasn't going to go for any your mama jokes, but I like that one. I like that one. The only one I had was if two Hindus get into it, is it still called a beef? That is literally the only one on the list because so many of them were so topical and required us to understand so much about the topic matter. Yeah. How many people in the room know who Vishnu is? But two? Holy crud. Three?
Some sort of god. But I
Okay, well, you have to have a
know.
little deeper than that.
Yeah,
but-
that's vague. That's like, oh yeah, it's a tree. Sorry.
But because as a Western culture, we don't come in contact with Hindu faith a whole lot. It's pretty rare, and if we do, we usually mistake. This is horrible to say. If we see somebody who's Hindu, we usually mistake them for Muslim. It's a thing.
You should mistake them for Buddhists.
Oh, most people, Buddhists are little Asian guys, right?
Some of them.
Some of them.
Some are
See,
Indian, some are-
you know, going from the standard Western view of people and their association with religion, all Jews look a certain way.
Yeah.
All Muslims are Middle Eastern. All Buddhists are little Asian guys, usually in saffron outfits.
That's expensive.
Saffron isn't the color, not the actual saffron. Man, an outfit made of saffron, you could, jeez, buy Fort Knox with that. Wow. And atheists are hipsters. So, you know, between all those, that's our Western view. I think on the last one. So what?
We're not all munching hipsters.
Hat swilling beard having.
They like flowers in their hair.
Do you guys actually
Wow,
follow
is that-
anything in particular? That way I know if I'm making fun of you guys directly.
Oh, I'm actually an
Yes. All right.
I'm like,
I got a whole section.
I'm lost in it all. I'm like, whatever.
So you're ag something or other.
Something.
Not agriculture.
Well, I could be.
You're like, I'm gonna
No.
grow trees.
I'm a tree hugger. You haven't seen me hug that much tree yet.
No, I haven't.
You're what?
coat.
Coat?
You cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes down to it, I'm probably more of a paganist.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that. We'll make fun of everybody equally. I actually did not bring many pagan jokes to the table because, like Wicca and groups like that, people don't know enough about it.
Yeah, they all think they're like, evil.
They're witches. Witches, burn them.
Witches,
Burn them.
burn them.
Burn them. Yeah, no, most people know absolutely nothing about the religions.
Oh, he wants his check out.
He's comfy. Are you comfy?
Ah, here we go. There's the atheist joke I was looking at. No, there's a really good one in here.
Okay, good.
So there's a atheist guy. He's a cultural explorer. He's going through the Amazon, and he runs into a bunch of cannibals. One thing leads to another. He's eventually captured. And he's in front of their chieftain, who's proclaiming him to be. So he's going to be eaten. He's going to be eaten. He says, "Oh God, save me." Time pauses for a moment. God comes in and says, "Wait a minute. I thought you didn't believe in me." "Well, I didn't. But you want me to save you?" "Absolutely." Why? "Well, I'm pretty much screwed." "Oh, don't worry about it. See that rock? Pick that rock up, smash the leader's head. That's all you gotta do." Okay. Time continues. He picks up the rock, smashes him. God says, "Now you're screwed." So.
No. No.
Anyways. Now here's one of the questions, one of the things about all of these things is I always like to look at all these religions and go, okay, I mean, Americans assume that Muslims are allowed to kill people. This has just become an American belief. They're terrorists. They're all terrorists.
You can get like Fox News only talking about that. Of course, it can fit that.
But you look at a lot of the conservative and ultra-conservative elements, and where are they getting their news?
Fox News is a big religious joke, though. One of the funniest ones around.
If there's anything to drive people at atheism, it's Fox News. But anyways, so the audit becomes for me, okay, what religions actually do allow you to maybe kill over jokes, things like that? Is there such a thing? Because the first tenet of every religion usually tends to be, don't be a douchebag. Pretty good rule. Pretty good rule. So what?
It's also the most ignored.
Yes, oddly enough. Oddly enough. And so going through all these religions, and there was a joke. Actually, I'm going to pull this joke up real quick because it shows us, our Westerner ignorance. Actually, this is a British joke, to tell you the truth. I think the British government are right to not single out Islam as tackling radicalization on their own terms. With the growing number of violent Buddhists, Hindus, and Church of England extremists out there, something just has to be done across the board. The joke here, by the way, is that people are not cognizant enough of the world to understand the idea of an extremist Buddhist. They exist. They kill Muslims. So what?
Talking to him at that point, one time I was like, Marshall, I was like, what radical Buddhism look like?
They blow things up. That's actually what they do. It actually occurs. Their group that they go up against is the Muslims.
We're so peaceful, we're boring.
Hindus is basically boils down to everybody who's not Hindu.
Have a better next life.
Say what?
Have a better next life.
Sorry.
That was
Oh, that one. Everybody didn't catch what he said. Have a better next life. I love that. Well, good.
Okay.
Oh, the small child is going to break me. That's what's going to do it for me. That's why I'm going to hell.
That?
So what?
That?
Oh, that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
I was gonna say the icing on the straw.
Sam,
And it's
are we going to hell?
No, we're not. For now. Oh, careful, Sam. For now.
it would have been better if it was nice people in Florida.
That had to get to spin.
Um,
And Harvey's just sitting there in quiet contemplation.
he does that a lot. Say what?
You can move the chair? Okay.
Get it as far as you need.
It's charitable, man. You need your charity.
Anyways, so part of the problems with a lot of these jokes is they also show our ignorance. That joke in particular from over Britain shows the absolute ignorance of the people involved because they have no idea this actually occurs in other religions. Christianity, we like to say, we make fun of Muslims because they're all terrorists because we don't do that sort of thing. Hang on, I said it with a straight face, damn it.
I know, that just makes it funnier.
Because we're not even going to get into history. We're not going to get into the history of the Crusades, or what happened, or why it happened, or the response to it, or our Christian humanist response back to it. That was a lot of bad. We still have it in modern day. We actually still,
Please.
we still have it. We still have. You know, I've got a couple of markers if you want. Yeah? All right, I'll tell you what.
You want to start off? Okay. On the paper?
Yeah.
Don't draw on the table. Draw on the table.
Paper plate. You like paper.
All right, I don't have any paper, but
That's
that's
right.
okay. What do you think? You're welcome. See how this plays out. Hopefully, I'm not cleaning the entire table, but
What is it?
but it still happens with Christianity. We still, believe it or not, there's still Christian groups that blow people up, kill and blow people up. Muslims, and well, actually, basically anybody who's not them. We don't do it here in the U.S. right now, frequently. And actually, when it does happen, we divide that person off. He's not a Christian; he's a radical. He is. We find some other label to give them. They're not Christians.
Yeah, that's
Guy goes out and ends up firing over 100 shots in exchange with officers. His book that he wrote was on killing everybody who was not a Christian. But we still divided him out because obviously he's not one of us. We would never do that, despite the fact that he had identified himself as part of we. But we do that to everybody else, which results in jokes like couple of anti-Islamic jokes here that I actually kind of liked. All right, and I've lost them. I should actually put tabs on this thing. Well, the first one is how does every Islamic joke start? By looking over your shoulder. Mom was trying to get her kid to slow down and slow down on his eating. He says, if you eat much more of that bacon, you're going to explode. And he just kept shoving it in. Of course, statistically, he's far more likely to explode if he never eats any bacon at all.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
oh.
But it's the precept. It's the precept right there that all of those people are exactly the same. Every Muslim must obviously be a terrorist. Obviously. Stereotyping people because of their religion is not nice, whether or not they be a Christian, a Jew, or a terrorist.
man, it's not hurting somebody.
So it's yeah, we spend a lot of time generalizing all these people, marginalizing them into little groups of the worst part. And the funny part is, I'm surprised to this day nobody has started taking, and I'm not picking on you like that, but nobody started taking for instance, Stalin, and just lumping all atheists with Stalin.
Oh no, they do.
I have never
They
seen it
do it
happen yet in
seriously.
conversation.
It's not a joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it on the internet.
Yeah, they do it
I
all
have
the time.
atheist friends. So when a Christian group attacks an atheist, I'm listening and I'm like,
The only time I've ever pulled that card out is the religion is the evil of the world and it's caused basically every death in the world. I'm like, okay, now hang on. There's been some people who've done it that were not Christian, were not Muslim, they were atheists. But that's the only time I've never once tried to. Of course, I don't try to
Those
love
people
them.
were also communists.
Yeah.
And that's like fascist, and that's what does it.
Well, anytime you have one person who's in power.
Yeah.
One person is in power and people that won't question it. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
That's when you end up with dead people, with a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
And I don't care what group you are.
You want green or red?
Anyways, so we end up lumping all these people together. We also, like I said in some of the previous jokes, it's also where we actually show our ignorance, because anybody who knows anything about these religions, or for instance, the concept of atheism even, they make fun of these other groups, and you can just kind of look at them and go, I had the hardest time with looking at a lot of these jokes because I'm going through pages and pages and pages of jokes. Honestly, I'm expecting to crack up a lot, and I'm actually going, that's not how it works. I mean, come on, no, casino. No. And you end up with it showing people's ignorance when we tell these jokes. And you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many red?
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to pick on the atheists again real quick. There's no real point behind the joke, because almost every joke I've told so far has had a point. This was just funny. There's an atheist gets on the plane. He's got a little girl sitting beside him. It's like, no. Well, you want to talk during the flight? It makes it go faster. And she goes, I guess. Well, what should we talk about? And she's got a Bible in her hands. He says, well, should we talk about how heaven and hell and God don't exist? She looks at the Bible, looks at him. No, let's talk about animals. Animal poop. Oh, okay, sure. All right. She goes, so deer and cows and horses all eat the same thing. But when they poop, deer poop little pellets, and cows poop big patties, and horses big clumps. Do you know why? Oh, no, I don't know why. She goes, well, if you don't know shit, we ain't gonna talk about heaven and hell in the Bible.
Oh my God.
But one of the things about the I started to get off on this and come back and kind of veered off and just come back. I went through and started looking at, do any of these religions, does it grant them the right? Does it grant them within their religion even? Nothing ever grants anybody the right to kill somebody, ever. There's no right to say, well, okay, he's an atheist, he doesn't believe like I do, I should be able to kill him. That's my rights, right? No, of course it's not. No one's
It says
going
you
to.
can in the Bible.
So what?
It does say you can release the Bible.
Well, actually, it gets negated, actually. But that's a different story. And non-believers was actually a very specific area, Israel, because you had to be within the land. Once you got outside the land, the rules started changing. And there's actually a big diagram of where the rules apply at, and where the rules don't apply, and who they apply to, and who they don't apply to. Because unless you're a Cohen, these rules don't apply, et cetera, et cetera. So there is some, you're right. Actually, we've talked about this once.
Maybe black?
Yeah.
We'll do black.
This is just the one that's going back. Here we go. But you have this one.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, I got that right.
This one.
But like Buddhists, There is no permission. There's never permission to kill somebody else in Buddhism. Sort of. You can do it. It's just, it has a retribution of its own. A karmic retribution.
Come back to the gun field.
Exactly. Christianity versus, there is a difference between Judaism and Christianity. Judaism, in a way, allows it, but they don't. Theoretically, the rules would allow for it. In Christianity, you're not allowed, period. Because depending on how you want to read things and who you're talking to and blah, 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 Jesus negated that with a couple statements.
Yeah, it is mostly Old Testament.
Yeah. Vengeful God back then. Now you get into Hindu, and Hindu is a little weird and a little different. It's a caste-based system that we can't quite identify. Actually, blasphemy is a killing offense under that group. Oddly enough, it's a concept that's also a little weird because it depends on which caste you are. Because depending on what caste you are, there's about 52 castes that exist. And depending on who you are and what you're saying and when you're saying it, determines what the effect upon you is going to be. Because most of the time it's, in most religions, any retribution from things you say are divine retributions. And unfortunately, it's very easy with the Old Testament and with the Quran. Oh, come over here.
And now it's again.
Sam, color.
Gravity works.
Gravity works. Gravity works in one direction. This is an old saying from a friend of mine.
That's how you approach the event horizon.
So what?
Nothing.
I didn't catch that.
And unless you're approaching the event horizon of a black hole.
And actually, you're right. And the statement's actually incorrect, anyways, because actually gravity works off of a large area. And if you're close enough to a mountain, your beings are anyways.
Or if they're Weight Watchers.
Oh,
I'm gonna go for an inappropriate one on that one.
Inappropriate.
Not wildly inappropriate, just inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Just be keeping score on this.
Double doors. What?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll keep it up.
The double doors on the side instead of the front door.
Yeah, bro. We're approaching wildly.
Let's just do another fact question. If
No.
you're so fat,
Go.
she's the size of a bus, why is the door so small?
What was this?
I said, your mama fat joke. If your mom's the size of a bus, why is the door so small?
Wow. Wow. That is
inviting two horrible jokes about your mom at once. Yeah.
Oh, the can of worms. Marshall has opened it.
I'm gonna leave it all alone. Leave that on that side of the
Sorry.
But anyways, Christianity / Judaism does have basis for, retaliation for blasphemy, which jokes by nature, by sheer nature, all jokes are pretty much blasphemous if you're talking about somebody's religion. And unfortunately, Islam also has some rules in the Quran that can be taken as a reason to kill others. Now the problem is it still goes off the idea that
That's number 5.
I should have done a bouncy ball for him.
He's gonna bust a cap in that floor.
Oh.
Really?
Oh.
Really? I should have made a 4th set of jokes just for Marshall.
The pun list.
The pun list. Wow.
It's pretty punchy. Mm-hmm.
All right. See, you'd think I'd have all these memorized already.
Good thing.
Well, they're not in any particular order, right? I put there's
So wait, you don't like alphabetize them, you like strike them to array districts?
well, the thing is, when you're presenting something, you're supposed to have it in some sort of logical order, but not always. I don't always work in logical order anyways.
I write all my information on the inside of my eyelid, so to my blanket fractions.
Oh.
I got Google Maps in mind.
Do what?
I didn't catch it.
So I have Google Maps in mind.
Yeah.
I got Apple Maps for mine. I never get anywhere.
If you can do it. I can do it.
So, anyways,
Oh, yeah.
so the next question becomes actually at a level of government. Does government have a way of dealing with this problem? Here in the U.S., theoretically, I should be able to say anything I want to at any time. Does not mean that there's no repercussions from other people, and other people can't speak back. That's become a new thing too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you've spoken anything against Christianity, you have already ran into this many times.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the idea that somehow you speaking is stifling somebody else's free speech.
Yeah.
Excuse me? How?
That's crazy.
And it's an interesting
My opinions matter.
So what?
My opinions matter.
I'm so oppressed as the largest group in the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ask me how that works. I still have to figure it out. Actually, it's because it's a belief that somebody started that we are currently being oppressed, and that by making us feel oppressed, well, obviously, we're walking with Jesus if we're being oppressed. Not kidding. That's part of the thinking. Wow. Because the Bible says you were going to be looked down upon and da 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 da. So then they start making it up.
I can't hold public office in 7 states, but yeah, you guys are oppressed.
Don't even get me started on that. Why can't it?
It's in the Constitution. There shouldn't be any religious test.
No, there's not supposed to be.
There's not one, but you know, if
There
there
is
I
is
think
one,
that
but
the
there's not one.
Constitution would actually
There is
overrule
one, but
the
there's not
individual.
It's called
You know.
elections.
Yeah.
Yes, that is all we need for, well, I wish we had better religious tests than that, personally. So we got our last election.
Doesn't seem to be anything knowledge.
Yeah, no. It's about who had the most money, unfortunately. So governments, like our government though, allows us to have all that. Not every government does. France, for instance, oddly enough, despite the fact that they're right now in the process of saying this, they're also talking about possibilities of putting limitations that the idea of blasphemy and things like this would not be allowed. There are countries in the world where it's not allowed. It's they don't allow you to say those things. I go to Israel and make 2 jokes. Go ahead, see how that works out for you.
Yeah, they had AK-47s over
And guys who know how to use them.
They have them here, they just don't.
They have them here, but not from like the age of 5.
Well,
And not ladies on the beach that are, toting, they've got to keep track of their gun and go swim.
Yeah.
hot chicks with guns. And I say that as a mocking thing because the number of times I've seen that on Christians' pages on their Facebook feed, somehow they're trying to show off how prepared Israel is, I think. But I don't think that's really what they're focusing on. Because
they're focusing
the
on
gal's
other
bikini
places.
and the no, I'm not buying it. And even some of
the articles, I swear.
so what?
I read it for the articles, I swear. That carbine.
That thing stripped. Anyways,
Well-oiled piece of.
I don't want to know about you oil in your gun. Anyways,
I don't know again.
I am so not going there.
And again, I think that's the symbol I need for.
you can disassemble yours. Anyways,
Oh, look, it's Charlie with the marker.
You got it? Okay.
but even the religious leaders are having a problem with this because there's this thing that a lot of religious leaders are beginning to believe truly in the concept of free speech. We should be able to say anything without being killed. And then at the same time, they find themselves in this situation. The Pope. We did a whole thing on the Pope.
Oh yeah, he disagrees with that. He's just a pope.
He's just the Pope.
He doesn't really make law.
Yes. So
Fortunately, though he does guide law in a way. In a way, he does.
That's right, because yeah, even though they want to, oh no, he's Catholic. That doesn't. Yeah, no, he's like the Christian king right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All pretty much follow the same thing.
Which is hilarious. Which is hilarious because the number of conservatives have such a problem with him now because he says things like,
Yeah, he
"Who
says
am I to
things-
judge?"
You mean he's like
Yeah.
Jesus?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Funny that.
that's the reason I like him. He's actually like people hate him so much because he's actually doing what the Bible says to do.
Yeah, at least
there you bet.
And they're like, oh my God,
There you
he's
go,
the
that's
Antichrist. No, actually, he's like,
More Christ-like than these other. Yeah.
and one should say more Christ-like, not completely Christ-like.
Yeah.
He's got his things. And one of them, this is, I mean, there's a reason I was going that direction with it. One cannot kill in the name of God. That's one of the things he said last year. This year, with this going on, he said something I found very interesting. This also kind of tells the age that he's actually from. Yes, he's an older guy. It says,
where's your shirt?
it is true we cannot react violently, but if Mr. Gaspari here, a good friend, were to say something insulting about my mother, a punch awaits him. But that's normal. It's normal. You cannot make provocations. You cannot insult people's faith. That is from the Pope. So it's interesting. Free speech, free speech, free speech. As long as you don't talk about that guy over there, you know. And it's
Well, I view that more as be ready for the punch. You know, you can say what you want, but
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, you have free speech, but you do have to deal with the consequences of your free speech.
but should the consequences ever be violence? Which is what it was hinted at right there.
Well, you can't control everybody.
True, true.
You know, I mean, you have to expect that it's going to be a possibility.
you can't. You can't.
I mean, people can say what they want to me. I'm more than likely not going to get violent toward them. But, you know, I have a mouth too. And someone might want to get violent toward me. I have to accept that.
It's true.
I got it.
You know why atheists are bad at math? Because they can't do things like exponential powers because they don't believe in higher powers.
Oh, oh, that's good. It's both an atheist joke and a math joke at the same time.
First geek congregation. What did you expect? I could have thrown some Doctor Who and video games in there too.
Did you see that thing on Facebook about Obamacare and Dr. Who?
No.
Because Obama promised that we could keep our doctor if we liked our doctor.
See where this is going. Yeah.
But then in 2013, you know, the doctor generated and we got people.
Yeah. That's
Oh my gosh, you're back.
Obama lied.
By the way, did anybody see the ad that I ran for First Geek? I did the Chick-fil-A, our pickles don't touch, just like God intended them. And
I have seen that.
and I read it as an ad because up front
It's
because
okay when they're in the yard then?
who am I to judge?
Swimming around in their bodily fluids.
Oh, born in the
That's
jar.
fine.
Well, born in the jar, we all died.
All those pickles with all the juice in the jar.
You've got somewhere totally different than I thought.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's what makes this place fun a lot of times.
Jam them all in there to that narrow opening.
God. Well, you went one far and
Don't
he
use
decided to
the
go too
buttons.
far, and yeah.
You're on that scale. Okay, inappropriate, wildly inappropriate. And I'm not sure where that will land. Anyways, so I ran that with some text as an ad. And people have no sense of humor. My ad got banned within 24 hours. This is after Facebook accepted the ad. And then within 24 hours, enough people complained about it. About that simple joke. And this is the problem I have. We have no freaking sense of humor. Well, we do. Obviously, we've got some sense of humor about it. But people, we as a whole, yeah. We as a society have no sense of humor anymore, it seems like. One of the other ones I was going to also run an ad as was literally just a blank square and says, here's your politically correct, racially cleansed.
I saw that.
Yeah. And I ended up not running it. Because, like I said, the first one, less than 24 hours. Somebody found that as offensive enough to tell Facebook to take it down.
I thought it was fun.
Don't say it.
And actually, one person posted on, because when I copied it on my profile, one person said, you know, I usually like all of the jokes you post on here, but this one just makes me sad. Yes, you know what?
That's what I'm not saying.
Yes, thank you.
So let me get this on here.
Very restrained.
It's still on First Geek, by the way.
Wait, you turned off.
Gotta touch it. Gotta touch it. Touch the pickle.
You got to share with the class.
I don't know.
Go for it. I mean, really.
She said the people who complained were probably all the ones. In protest of gays.
They, I think he added hot. He added the hot part. I didn't go that
Right,
far.
it's either going to be hot or greasy and hot.
Like,
We're all worried about the pickles touching, but it's chicken. The other word for chicken is cock.
well,
They
You
can
think of that.
at least they're not serving bad.
And just so everybody knows, if I ever decide to run for office, this is what's going to make sure I don't get elected. Because somebody's going to dig through and find this.
This might,
That's what you do. You
this might make sure
bring
you
this
do
up
get elected.
first, so that people are like, "Holy crap, he has a sense of humor." Is he?
So there's this one time, 10 years ago, I spent all day telling dirty jokes.
Here it is. Somebody else will dig it up, so you might as well see it firsthand.
It's because these a-holes I've never met before.
No, you haven't read the stuff that's on here I haven't even bothered with yet. Seriously. What's the worst thing about being an atheist? No one to talk to during orgasms.
Oh God.
Oh, I got it. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that one makes it funny the other way too, because it's like, yeah.
Atheist gets to the restaurant, he sits down, and the waiter brings him a soup. He looks down, there's a fly. There's this waiter, what's this fly doing in my soup? The waiter looks down and goes like, I think it's praying. It's very fun. Take it back. Ah, see, his prayers were answered.
Oh.
You're gonna make a butt? A bird?
No.
A what?
What are you making?
Cook?
No.
What are you making?
Black. Okay.
A black one.
Uh,
A robot.
yeah, there's so many of these in here. Honestly, there's so many of them on here also that are just kind of lame. I thought they were funny at the time. I get put them up there. And,
Oh. Show him that. Just show him that.
Posting it.
yeah, that's one of mine.
Just kidding.
That's what I'm off of First Geek right now.
YOLO.
I thought it was perfect.
It is. It's hilarious. You only live once. Just kidding.
Like,
So a guy goes to get a suit made. Taylor measures him out. Says, yeah, it's got to be about a month before it's done. And it's a month. Why so long? It only took God 6 days to make the world. Taylor says, well, look at how that worked out. This one just requires being told twice. How do you get an N pregnant? Dress her up as an altar boy. Love that joke. Love it.
I think it's
There was a,
I think it's funny that I'm not the only like kid when they were 4 that used to sing Who Built the Ark? No one. Instead of Noah, it was no one.
Oh, wow.
Who built the ark? No one. I was 4.
Wow. And you started to say?
oh, there was this thing on Family Guy where the new pope was in office and he's like having to go through like all the mail being delivered and everything, and there's like all these magazines that are still being shipped, and he's like going through canceling them, and he's like, no, okay, yeah, we're gonna cancel, you know, like Better Homes and Gardens, and yeah, no, we don't need time, no, it's like, oh, no, we're gonna keep Boys Life.
Wow. Wow. That's just not right. I love it. Anybody else got any other ones? Because I'm really running out of ones. Because I keep looking at my list and I go, man, you know, that seemed so much funnier a while back.
What?
No. I know Harvey's not going to contribute any jokes. Just not his thing. What?
Is there crayons?
Crayons? No crayons. I thought it said Kleenex at first. Couldn't
I thought
tell.
he did too.
No, I don't have crayons. I'm not allowed to have them. I draw on the walls.
At least you don't lick them.
They're not very tasty. It's got that waxy flavor. I don't know. Did somebody come up with those scented crayons? Did you ever see the scented crayons?
I've seen scented markers.
Oh, they got some crayons that are done that way too. Actually, they're some of the worst crayons to ever draw with.
I was gonna say, who's gonna eat
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or stuff them up their nose. Like they don't already do that too. Let's just happen more.
So the question becomes though, so of all this, so we can make fun of anything. We feel we should be able to make fun of anything. Oh God, here we go. Nicely done. Nicely done. We feel that we should be able to say anything at any time. Not necessarily the idea that there's no repercussions of it. Just we should be able to say it without fear of being killed or families being killed or things like that. The question becomes, so how do we and this sounds like a radical statement. How do we prevent that from occurring here in the U.S.? Because we're already starting to see further separations.
No mark in the nose.
Mark the plate.
But look at the plate. It's already got marks on it.
Wow.
Look at it.
Hey, you're fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I've seen that one before.
You had it.
You need help?
Okay. How about a new
I've also seen those too. Yeah, I'm no longer allowed to bring this to school function. So anyways, the real honest question becomes, how do we have to keep it from starting to occur in the U.S.? There's anti-theists that would go for, well, nobody should be able to celebrate religion. I do know some that are radical anti-theists that are along that line. But the question becomes, how do we prevent that sort of level of radicalization in the United States? And that's one of the things that I think we're going to be facing soon. What?
I said beating the shit out of you. Wait, that doesn't solve the problem.
I think that was the problem I'm describing. Because we're already seeing, let's face it, online conversations, it's not unheard of to get death threats off of them.
No, it's not.
Here in the United States, during Draw Mohammad Day, the FBI, that started in 2010. I can't remember her name, and I didn't write it down. Nola something or other was a cartoonist that the FBI said, yeah, you just need to go ahead and relocate yourself, change your name, and change your profession. Because the death threats that she was getting were so potentially real threats. The FBI was looking at it and going, you really are in danger. All because she did that. And that was here in the U.S. That wasn't an international or abroad issue. That's local.
I've seen people here in the U.S. They get like Muslims like actually putting like monetary bounties on their heads, and they're just like showing them like a badge of honor. Like, this guy put $1 million on my head. He can't pay that.
Well, and we also.
Yes, we can. Sam said yes, we can.
Lord, forgive me.
Out of the mouths of babes, right?
Oh, yes,
That's why I'm still on the actual babes.
Jesus, that was funny.
Wow.
Can't pay that for me, okay?
Sam draw.
Because even
Sit.
No, I'm not sitting. I want that green one.
So by mommy?
No,
What green was he talking about?
This is green.
Mommy, no.
Can you sit there?
No. I want to
no.
go around you.
Hey,
Let me down.
hey.
No,
Oh, sorry.
So anyways, we're already seeing people becoming more and more radical online with the things that they say, and as you point out, the idea of bounties and things like this, the sense of humor is getting worse at times because people are again in humor advocating the idea of killing others. Somebody sent me a friend request one day. I every once in a while I will peruse somebody's page before I accept the friend request just to see what sort of person are we dealing with here.
You should do that.
And it was a whole group of actually the funny part is I don't believe them to actually have been Muslims, but they had turbans, so obviously they must be Muslims. Everybody with a turban is a Muslim.
People wear hats are religious groups.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want you to wear a hat.
Everybody who wears one of these is a Christian, obviously.
Oh, yes. Indiana
so
Jones,
what?
totally the Christian girl.
God wants you to wear a hat.
I'm
You don't want
surprised.
It's on God, remember that.
So, and above it was a set of crosshairs, and then the next person actually says, "Yeah, hi, how are you, Sam? That's good, Sam. Bye, Sam." And so even our humor is starting to reflect it even more and more. The idea for some people that they can go ahead, it's funny to go ahead and hi.
Sam,
Come on.
being disruptive.
Hey, normally it's Marshall.
Is that
So
what we're
at
talking about?
least this is cute.
We're talking about being disruptive.
Hey.
Oh, oh, he's loving the four tiles.
So what is it going to take? How as a society should we be dealing with it?
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm gonna go under it.
We can brainwash people, bring back the good old days of electroshock therapy.
No.
Yeah, but that never worked before.
No, it didn't, but it was sure fun.
Oh,
I should have known I was walking to the direct.
I'm orange. I'm red.
Back to purple.
I'm so green.
So,
No. Yeah.
you have a lot of energy, don't you, Sam?
I can sit and green.
Okay, sit on green.
So- Hi.
I think when people become extremists, they should have this tattooed on their forehead.
That would be, not sure that would do it, though.
But it'd be funny.
Would that be the mark of the beast?
This, yeah.
Oh, you can tell the story.
Mark of the beast.
I gotta admit, nobody would have seen that one coming, because people were looking for social security numbers, the RFID that everybody's gonna have because of Obamacare.
You don't already have it due to vaccines?
Oh, right. That's what really causes autism, mark of the beast.
Measles, mumps, and rubella were just fragments, and now they're assembling in our bloodstream.
This shows
Nanobots.
six.
Nanobots.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gonna help me out here?
Yeah.
Tell a joke. You're trying to tell a joke. Yeah? Oh, is it
You say,
Knock knock.
knock knock?
Who's there?
Orange. What?
Orange, red, bananas.
don't do what?
Holy crap, I forgot how knock knock jokes work.
What?
How many
Hey, what do you want?
atheists does it take to change a light bulb?
2. One to change the bulb, one to video it to document that it was not actually divine intervention.
One, but they are still in darkness.
Wow! Wow!
You got them both.
No.
See, I figured you were heading to the same one I had. Hi!
I didn't see that one in here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Careful.
Sam, you need to park it. Yeah, park the butt right here.
Let me get a drink.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I got your chocolate milk. You could park the butt.
Please.
Oh, he was gonna be like,
Is what? Is what?
Sam, come over here. He's trying to do stuff. Come over here.
Anyways. So does anybody understand what does anybody know what the origin of humor is?
Me.
Of laughter, actually, I should say.
Me.
Do you know the origin of humor?
Yeah, I wrote back to about 4200 BC.
I know what the first joke was.
Give it.
The first joke ever documented was what hangs at a man's waist and gets shoved in many, many holes. A key.
There you go.
you wanna go outside?
Ask him what.
Look at where she is.
Stop loading.
What are you gonna ask me? What you gonna ask me? No, I don't know what you're saying there, Sam.
Hey Sam, look.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Shows.
Universal child mesmerizer. Wow.
You come sit down. Okay.
Okay, stand on blue.
See,
we get free humor. If there's a child around, it's hilarious.
Apparently.
You know, like, yeah.
That's a good movie. Anyways, he has to be just far enough out of sight for me not to watch the movie the whole time. Probably with a chance of meatballs, I think. Anyways, so as a society, one of the things that we're facing, we've got to figure out is how do we prevent such further radicalization of it. And ooh,
I don't think we can. It's human. Stupid.
well, unfortunately, you're right. I mean,
You're always going to have people who don't know that the moon is, you know, a satellite. They think it's a star or a planet. Well, isn't it technically a dwarf planet?
so what?
So isn't the moon technically a dwarf planet? It's a natural satellite. Because I've heard that, like, technically Earth is like a binary planet system.
No.
Because of the size relation to the Earth.
The moon is actually a moon. We actually, of course, the question is how many moons do we have?
Just the one.
Actually, potentially, how you would, depending on how you wish to count them, there is more than one.
Mm-hmm.
We have a what is either referred to as a rogue asteroid or a moon that likes to follow us from time to time. That is directly affected by Earth's gravity and ends up can either be declared as a moon or it's not a rogue asteroid, it's periodic.
Oh, thank goodness you're being serious, because I thought you were going to make some really horrible joke there.
No, I was actually being serious.
Yeah, like, you know,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to actually grind somebody's gears on actually being serious for a moment.
I was a little worried where we were going there.
Your mama's a moon. Anyways,
How many moons do we have? Billions.
billions and billions.
when they're not wearing their
Anyways.
pants.
Sorry, man. This is a bad one. Sorry.
That's all right.
You should
You do so.
This very second, he doesn't like it.
stop being friends.
Are you coming back to talk to me again, Sam? Yeah, what do you want to talk to me about?
Yeah.
What, Pee-wee?
Found God. If nobody claims him in 30 days, he's yours. I like that one.
God.
Kind of runs up there in that the appropriate humor area, because like Sunday school teachers asking the kids, why do you have to be quiet in church? Because there's people sleeping, says one of the kids. Well, I'm literally, honestly, I am out of material I'm willing to use.
You're willing.
And there's really not been that much. So what?
Because you're willing to use.
Then I'm like, no, the truth is that I look back at some of these and go, I thought these were funny at first. These are just kind of lame. Hello. I have no idea what he said.
He's telling you about how I changed his diaper this morning.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Clean diapers are awesome.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So,
Sam.
Everyone
Tell me the joke.
Nobody.
so anyways, unless anybody's got anything else to contribute, I guess we'll probably wrap up early today.
Yeah, we better go before like the terrorists come in, like break down the door and kill us too. They're watching. Yeah.
Somehow
Foaming at the mouth.
Somehow I don't think I'm too worried about that here.
We got high profile. The world watches.
Yes, you're right. You're right. All three people who are watching them throughout the week. Actually, do we even have any of those 2 minutes? Nope. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
No, I figure they'll pick it up later in the week.
I know at least one person is just waiting on it. She had to watch the game. So yeah, I don't understand you saying what you say.
Fly. It says you can fly.
Can I fly?
He's got pastor
I'm
power.
not supposed to do that right now.
He's got rabbi
Let's show
power.
this one. A rich guy works out how to take his worldly goods with him when he dies. All he had to do is convert it to pure gold, and he could somehow take it with him. Anyway, he arrives in heaven with this huge sack of gold, and Peter asks him, "What you got there?" He looks in the sack with a quizzical look. "Pavement?"
Wow. A drunk staggers into a Catholic church, sees the confessional, slides in there. Well, the priest hears somebody pull the curtain. Nothing happens. See if we can get the person's attention. That's the third time. The bum says, "Hey, don't be bugging me, man. There's no toilet paper in this one either."
He's got markers.
I got markers.
How do you get a professional theological author off your porch? Pay him for the pizza.
Wow. And if it were only true, because there's some of them that have made a lot of money at it, unfortunately. God, how long is a million years? God answers to me, it's about a minute. God, how much is $1 million? To me, it's a mere penny. God, can I have a penny? Give me a minute.
Oh, nice.
A rabbi, a priest, and a minister walk into a bar. The bartender looks up and says, "What is this, a joke?"
You know, I avoided putting that one on there because
Yeah.
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 Oh.
The bump on the table.
Oh, poor guy.
Let me do it.
Child.
Sam, now can Mama have a turn? Jesus.
Right there.
Okay.
So an old man goes to church, goes to the confessional, says, "Father, I'm 75 years old. I have been faithful to my wife the entire time. However, I was just intimate with an 18-year-old. Says, Father says, "When was the last time you made a confession?" He goes, "Never have. I'm Jewish. What are you telling me? I'm telling everybody."
You want to watch? Watch out for Come on, Barbie.
Go for it.
How many Mormon missionaries does it take to eat a possum? 3. 1 to eat it, 2 to watch for cars.
Oh, wow. Wow. A rabbi, a priest, and a minister. They're all walking through the woods. And they all decide they're going to hold a contest to see who is the best at converting and bringing others into the fold. So their goal is that every one of them is going to go out and they're going to get a bear and they're going to convert them to their religion. The priest goes out and he comes back with a bear in tow. He says, "Yeah, I simply told him about salvation and sung him a few songs and I won him over. And he'll be in church on Sunday." The minister says, "Well, you know, my experience was actually pretty much the same. I baptized him and I explained to him I explained to him the ways of Jesus and the love of God and all of these things." And the rabbi comes back and there's 2 men carrying him. And he's got stitches everywhere. He's got a couple of an arm and a leg in the cast, and says, "You know, In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have started with the circumcision.
No.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to finish off with a go to hell joke.
Okay. I'll get the hand baskets.
So this guy, he owns a nail factory. And business is okay, but he thinks he can do a lot better. So he hires an advertising agency. Says, I want you to create for me something so completely memorable that nobody forgets the name Wilson Nails. All right, sure. So he comes back. Week later, pops the videotape in, says, here's what I got for you. What it shows is the Romans nailing up Jesus on the cross. Wilson Nails down below.
Oh, no.
And the guy goes, no, we can't, we can't show Jesus on the cross. No, this is tacky. Come back with something better. Guy goes, all right, sure. Week later, he comes back. All right, I got it all fixed up for you. Pops it in, and there's the Romans with crosses down on the ground. They haven't nailed Jesus in, but they got the nails there. And the Roman looks at the camera and says, Wilson Nails. Really got to stick. He goes, no, that's worse. What are you? Okay, look, we can't have anybody nailed to a cross. We can't show the Romans nailing some Jesus to the cross. No, just all of this. All of this is bad. Give me something better, something that I can use. So a week later, marketing guy comes back, pops in and goes, I got it. And it shows one guy streaking out across the field, followed by 4 Romans. One of them turns to the camera and says, we should have used Wilson Nails. And tune in next week because the next one's being done from hell. Seriously, I think that is it. I think we're going to cut it here just for the heck of it. I don't really have anything substantial to say, so.
Nothing profound.
Nothing profound, unfortunately. I got nothing. I ran through all my material. I read through, and you were just no help. No help this time.
Sorry, I wasn't on top of my game.
What do you call a good-looking woman in Salt Lake City?
What did you say?
Should I tell my wildly inappropriate Jesus joke?
Yeah.
This is the time for it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so since this is the time for it, Jesus Christ walks into an inn. He goes, "Keep the 3 nails, asks, can you put me up for the night?"
I heard that one before.
Yeah, it's not even good.
That's the first time I heard it. Jeez.
Got any more? Hello.
A man arrives in heaven, and Michael explains to him how things work. We will provide everything you need here, but your mode of transportation is based on how faithful you were in marriage. The man is satisfied to see that he is given a Volvo. While driving to his new home, he sees one of his friends who also arrived that day parked on the side of the road crying in his Aston Martin. Why are you crying? You earned an Aston Martin for your marital faithfulness, he said. His friend looks up and explains, yeah, but I saw my wife on a skateboard.
Nice. You can hit stop on that anytime at this point.
All right.
Hey, what?
It is dark in there.
Yeah.
That's because I come back, sister.